Hey dads, it's Glenn Tobias for the returnofman.net. Today I want to talk about probably the world's most powerful question. And I'm going to talk about it in a couple of contexts as it relates to you being a dad and relating it to your kids. Now, in one of these two contexts, some people might see it as positive. In the other one, some people may see it as negative. But really, they're both great ways to build relationship with your kids and to help them have a strong structure as they grow. So here we go. The question is one word: why? Now, that's a powerful question that I ask a lot of guys when I'm working with them, either coaching them as men, coaching them as small business owners. I use it a lot when we're coaching in youth sports. Kids will say, we love asking kids, why did you do that? Why did you take that approach? And it makes the kids think about what are they, they're taking more ownership of their own development. But today we're going to talk about this aspect. When your younger child asks you why, Daddy, the simple ones, why is the sky blue? Why does that float and that sinks in water? Whatever. There's all kinds of ways that they might use that word why, right? Okay, those are a couple simple examples. But the point is this: one of the things that's happening is your child, and you need to understand this and really get a handle on this, your child was created with an innate expectation that you are an authority. They look to you. Now, dads, we'll talk about this more in another video session. They look to you as a definer. Now, they don't understand that that's what they're doing. So the point of this, guys, is that you are a definer for your family. Your kids, your sons and your daughters, kids that you coach, people you work with, they get a definition of manhood from the way you behave. And this is why starting with you is where everything else, that's the foundation for fixing everything else in your fathering role. Okay, back to the topic. So your kids are going to ask why. Well, this is a great opportunity for you to do one of two things. Either in a humble but confident fashion, demonstrate to your kids that you are an authority on this topic they just asked you about. Here's another great way. Develop the exploration with your kid. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'm not completely sure. Here's a great response. Start off with, you know what, that is a great question. It really is. And it's a question I've wanted to understand. I think I might have just tapped my mic, so I'm sorry if there was some noise there. It's a great way to say, that's a great question. You know what, let's go explore that together. And it can become a tradition with you guys to develop, to create this time with your child where you go and get a Frosty at Wendy's, or you get a milkshake at McDonald's, or if you're more into it, you go get a health smoothie, or you have a bowl of cereal together, whatever, who cares? Grab something to eat, slice up an apple, get some cheese, whatever you like to do. Sit down and open up Google or Bing or whatever search engine you like using and do a little research on it. Hey, make a trip to the library. There's an old-fashioned idea, but it's lots of fun. Make a trip to the library, check out a couple of books on the topic, and spend a day, a week, a month, over a period of time, some days together studying whatever it is that child asks why, okay? So that's topic one, and that's just a brief overview. There's lots of ways, but I hope that generates some ideas for you. The second way that the why question comes up can be seen as a negative, but boy, it is a spectacular opportunity for you to teach your child some great lessons. And here's how it works. Son, I want you to take out the trash. Daughter, I want you to take out the trash. Somebody needs to walk the dog and brush the dog. Somebody needs to sweep the hallway. So I need this task done. Let's stick with take out the trash. I need you to take out the trash. And the child doesn't want to do it, and they ask this question, why? Now, rather than reacting emotionally, here's what I want you to try out. Next time they do that, because there's a very important principle that we're going to discuss in just a second, hopefully I'll remember, because I don't script these things. So very important principle, but the tactic that I want you to take is to do this, to say, okay, you know what? I'm thrilled that you want to know the reason that I want you to take out the trash. So no further explanation. The first reason is because I'm your father and I told you to do it. And if you feel more comfortable with it, put in, I'm your loving father and I want you to do that. We need you to do that for the household. Have them take that trash out and then have them come sit down at the table with you or sit in the living room, whatever you want, and say, now you wanted to know why, let's understand why. Here's what I'm going to tell you is going to happen most of the time. Once they've been forced to do the chore you told them to do, once they're required, they're no longer interested in the answer because they didn't really want to know why. They wanted to get out of doing it. What they really meant was, why do I have to do it? But the awesome lesson that they learn is when you make them sit down and you take a few minutes explaining the why, let me promise you this, in the vast majority of cases, you will stop that why question within a week, tops. They will not ask anymore. Now, they'll forget every now and then and they'll come back and say why. If you are consistent, Dad, if you're consistent, and every time they do that, you say, great question. Go do what I told you to do. Come back and sit down. I'll be happy to explain it to you. And the longer your explanation, the more they're going to squirm and go, man, I am never asking why again. But the principle that we talked about, or kind of the strategy behind that tactic, is this. One of the greatest principles I've learned in my life about being a man, being a husband, being a business owner, being a father, being a brother, is the very best insights in understanding any topic comes after obedience. When we learn to subject ourselves to authorities and take on the role that we're asked to take on, we always gain greater insights. So the super powerful question, why, it will come in, Daddy, why is this, that, or the other thing? And it also comes in, why do I have to do this? Use those couple of techniques that I've talked about and you will find a real deepening of your relationship with your kids. You'll find greater obedience and cooperation in your household, and it'll bring a lot more peace to you. So hey, this is Glenn Tobias for thereturnofman.net. Right below us, there's a subscribe button. I'd love for you to click on that. And then there's a space for you to leave comments below. Please do that. In the meantime, you can email me, Glenn, with two N's, Glenn, at thereturnofman.net. Glenn at thereturnofman.net. Email me, tell me you want to be on the wait list, and we'll make sure we let you know when our complete 7-video series training in fatherhood and manhood is going to come out. It'll be out pretty soon. In the meantime, we're just kind of throwing out some of these free videos with some great content. I hope it's helping you. See you soon. My name is Glenn Tobias, returnofman.net, thereturnofman.net. Hey, good night. Thanks for joining. Bye.